would now show a bit of the admin view. As mentioned before, this is a completely web-based system, and because I have all the administrator permissions, I have also access to all this admin functionality. We will just mention majority here and then focus on some because it is after all a highlight for TermWeb. The new dictionary wizard is a step-by-step wizard that helps you create your dictionary, and it's TBX basic from the start. So if you want to use TBX, you can always use it. The system has all the TBX basic fields available from the start, both on concept level and term level. So if you want to use that, there is a help on the way. Dictionaries is the place where you go in order to edit your dictionaries. Everything is happening here on the fly. So whenever you want to add the language or remove something or add the field or remove and so on, you can do it without any need to stop anything. So for instance, if I want to do a change here on my dictionary here, I enter here. And if I want to add a new field, and let's say that these predefined TBX basic fields are not enough for me, I can create my own custom field. I just put it a name. And then I can select what kind of field it is. It's a multi-line, single line, paired list. And here you can see the other highlight of TermWeb 3.8 where I can select a multi-valued field. So I can add a number of values. So, and so on. Then I'll save this component. And then I can move it up and down. So I can have the order the fields the way I like. As you can see, because it is something that I created myself, there is no TBX here. It's because it's, of course, a custom field. Now I'm saving the changes in my dictionary. And just to show you how it looks like, I can just create a new concept here. And I edited it on this concept level. Here is the field that I just created, Ioannis testing. You can see my 3 values, and then I can just select the ones that I want to be selected. And this is the new function. This is the multi-value fields that we now can have in TermWeb, which of course simplify a lot of the structures when you're creating your dictionaries. Okay, going back to the admin view, we see the sections, which allows you to split the dictionary in minor parts. We have a history here as well, which allows you to see everything that happens in TermWeb is tracked. And of course, this is something that is the foundation of all quality assurance. You have to be able to track every change. In this case, you can, for instance, track an operation like an import that has been made and a synchronization. And then again, just as the concept view, even here, I can just undo. So if I do an import and it's not the way I thought it would be, the result, I can just undo it. And this saves a lot of money, a lot of time, because otherwise you would have to chase someone with backups and beg them to restore the database. But in our case, it's just a simple of undoing. The domains is something that basically it's another search. This is a domain search. You can create your structure and filter your results based on categories. And this is, again, as everything else in TermWeb, something that you create yourself. Nothing is fixed. Everything is flexible, and you can create yourself. Furthermore, you can create views. And this is just a way for hiding fields for specifically user groups. So for instance, you say in this dictionary, I just want to show the definition and source and nothing on the term level, and write to a user group, and then when they log in, they see exactly the fields that you want them to see based on these views. So this is very helpful because it hides irrelevant information and for your users. Import, export, you can do Excel, multi-term, and you can also do XML and XML files like TBX. We have a file repository. Basically, it's a place where you can upload your files, and then you can reference to them. And if you just want to move these to another TermWeb somewhere else, you can just do an export. It creates a zip file. You send it away to another TermWeb user, and they can just import, and then they have these files in their repository. And this is a way to just move files between systems. The user groups, and so on. This is where we handle all these users and place them in different groups. A user can be in one or more groups at the same time. We'll see the group members to see in each group which users that are there. And of course, you can change the passwords and so on. Now, for you that you've been using TermWeb, you remember this access editor. It is where you set the permissions to different dictionaries and sections. And we had this view so that you can have the groups. You set the access, and then you would see the effective access. Now, we thought that we wanted to go down and to more detail. So this is why we created the permission schemes. Basically, what you do is you can add the permission scheme, which states what kind of permissions you have or a specific user has. But now we are down on a function level. So basically, you can set that this specific user group, production members user group, they can view concepts, but maybe they cannot create terms, or maybe they cannot edit the concepts, and so on. So now the permissions are really on a function level, and you can see all these functions that we can have. Also import or export, or import on an export as well. So much more detailed when it comes to permission setting. So once we have created our scheme, we then apply it by assigning it to the dictionaries. So I select what part of my dictionary that has this permission scheme. So basically what you do is you have your user group with a certain permission schemes and for the certain parts of the dictionary. And then you can have another permission scheme for another part of the dictionary. So much more detailed permissions than ever before. Lock the language, that is something that you can use in order to, well, lock specific languages from editing. For instance, in this case, the French translators, we have locked all other languages for this dictionary, so they can only change the French one. They cannot edit the other languages, because this is something that can happen by mistake, for instance, by changing other languages that you're not supposed to do. We have also schedule functionality. This is something that allows you to do schedule exports. You select, you create a job. Basically, you say, okay, I want to do an export. You select an export setting that you have already defined, and then you say how often you want to do it: every minute, every day, every week, every month, or every, whatever value you give. And this will then automatically create an export, place it in a specific path, and you can take the file and do some stuff with it. And then you, of course, get a report if it's okay or what has happened. We also have statistics which show the user who is online currently, total visits, monthly visits, and daily visits. You can see which user has logged in and how much time they spent, and so on, which is pretty good to see how your terminology management software is used and how much time people spend in it, and so on.